All right. 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 What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. Without even going into it, you already know what this one's going to be, man. This one is bound to be one of those instant classics in the making. This is your first time to the Dr. Mike TV channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you notify, make sure you do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good Dots content. All of my good stuff shall be listed in the links in the description area below. Ladies and gentlemen, press your ones, give me the thumbs up, make sure the sound is loud and clear. All right, I need to make sure the sound is on point before we get into today's topic because we're going to touch on some things that a lot of us don't ever want to. Well, I mean, there's something politic about, but nobody really touches on this topic of conversation. But if the sound is good, press one, thumbs up. Let me make sure everybody is in cohesion. Shout out to my man King Arthur. I see you, sunny California. My brother Robert in the background. Much love to you. My man Manny, appreciate y'all locking in. Y'all say the sound is good. Guess what? Let me take this sip real quick and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Ah, let me go ahead and channel myself and let's go ahead and rock it out. All right. But y'all make sure y'all put the like on the video, man. Don't hesitate. Make sure you caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're in then. Let's lock in. All right. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't grow up spoiled, man. Didn't grow up spoiled at all, man. I didn't grow up lower class, but I grew up in the middle class. That's where I grew up, and that's all I've ever known in my life, right? My dad, he wasn't a chief warrant officer at the time that I'm gonna tell you this story, but my dad, he was in the military, and my mom worked for the Department of Social Services, right? And coming up as a child, in order to keep me and my brother from being spoiled, our parents used to always tell us, look, you can either have this or you can have that, but you can't have both, right? So every time we used to go into the grocery store, if I wanted a Reese's Pieces and a Snickers, no, son, you can either have the Snickers or you can have the Reese's. You can't have both. All right. As I got older and I started to realize that life was a little bit more complex than Snickers and Reese's when it came to making choices. It was always a situation where it was either one or the other or none at all, but there was no way you could have both. So you could either have one, the other, none, but you cannot have both. But I can remember one Christmas, one Christmas where all that shit went out the window, right? You don't want to know what's in my red solo cup. I'll fill you. But one Christmas, I can remember it distinctly. Power Rangers was popping, y'all. That was my era. 90s kid. Power Rangers was the shit. You feel me? I love the Power Rangers, man. And one year, my parents went all out. I mean, they got the gloves, right? And the gloves will make these punching sounds whenever you swing and shit. So every time you hit the button on the inside, it goes psh, 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 right? So, they gave me the Power Ranger gloves, man. They got the White Ranger sword and shit, the Green Ranger shit. My pops, my mom, and my dad went all out. I say that to say this. That was the only year that me and my brother got everything that we asked for Christmas. And when I talk about this particular story, I had an epiphany probably earlier today that the Philippines, in its essence, makes it very hard for foreigners to make any real life decisions. And a lot of people may say, Doc, why do you say that the Philippines is a place that makes it harder for foreigners to make any real life decisions? because there's very few implications where you actually have to make a decision on something and not be able to have both and or all of it. Perfect example. I remember when me and my young lady were together, man, it was a late night. She was hungry. I wanted Chow King. She wanted Jollibee, or we wanted McDonald's, man. We couldn't decide on where we wanted to eat. So we had Grab food or food, whatever the Grab joint is. We had Grab pick up Jollibee for, like, I think she wanted a Jollibee Yum Burger. I wanted some McDonald's fries, and I wanted Chow King. We called up the Grab and, Food Panda and shit. We called them up. They delivered all that shit to the house. And at that moment, I realized, yo, man, there's really no need to make any decisions or reason or for foreigners to make decisions in the Philippines when you could pretty much have damn near anything you want to because it's cheap, because it's affordable. There's never really a moment in a foreigner's life unless they put that type of energy on themselves. There's very few reason for a foreigner to make any type of decision in the Philippines, like any type of drastic decision making for anything relatively moderate in price. Now, of course, if you're thinking about where to live or what kind of houses you want a house or rent and stuff, like some really big decisions that cost big money, yeah, you can think about having to make decisions based off of that. But anything on the low, like just in regular everyday life, there's never been a reason for you to ever make decisions or have to make any decisions because everything is so damn cheap in most situations, in most instances, or I should say, not so much cheap, but affordable for your average foreigner, that there's really no need for them to make any decisions. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, right? When it comes to women and females and Filipinos at large, I mean, you really don't necessarily have to make a decision on being with just one Filipino. You don't have to. I have opted to say, well, Doc, I think you should channel and funnel your energy or the most of it into one particular female, i.e., the mean one. That was a decision that I made, but did I have to make that decision? No. I could have talked to and interacted with and figured out my way through the country by entertaining multiple females. As long as these girls are aware of the situation, I kind of feel like you can't go wrong. And I talked to my man Charles Merchant about this. Big love to my man Charles. I don't know where he is right now, but I'm gonna show him love. Um, in hindsight, there's very little decision making that is required for you in the Philippines, and the main reason that is because you can damn near have it all. If your finances can support you and your decision making to have whatever it is in your country that you want to, there's very few limits on the things that you can have. Not like in the United States, where in it kind of feels like there's in certain situations or certain instances, you're pretty much required to make a decision on that, right? Pretty much decide. There's pretty much no way in this world you can have this and that. More or less, you got to choose one or the other. That's pretty much what life has brung us. And as many of us have migrated, navigated, or chosen to visit the Philippines, and you realize there's very little decision making, very little vital decision making on a lower scale that requires you to choose one or the other, you start to realize that right there is what leads to gluttony. That right there is what leads to greed. That right there is what leads to foreigners living. I don't want to even call it's not the abundance mindset that I'm thinking about, but it allows foreigners to be gluttonous in their choices. There's said, what is it, the seven deadly sins or something? Gluttony. You start to overindulge. To realize that you can satisfy yourself on multiple levels and it can cost you very little to do so. So you start to scale up rather than scale back. And when there's no real reason to make any real life decisions on whether you want to be with this partner or be with that partner or eat this food or do that, or whether you want to buy this drink because it's cheaper, like if you're going to the club in the United States and it costs you like $25, $35 for a bottle. In the Philippines, it costs you like what, $10 for the bottle. You start to realize that there's very little there's very little reason to make any drastic decisions whenever you're going out just to enjoy yourself. Yeah, like when you're buying houses and stuff like that and properties and things like that, yes, there is decision making that needs to be involved in it. But in your everyday regular life, ladies and gentlemen, because the Philippines is a place that just allows you to continue to do what it is that you do as long as your funds can be substantiated in the country, there's very little reason to have any type of decision making in the process. I haven't had to make any major decision in the Philippines for a long time. The last major decision I made was to again channel my energy into one particular young lady, the woman that I'm with right now. Had I not made that decision, it wasn't as if I was going to miss out on anything because, life before I made that decision was going just well, just going just fine. So when I say that the Philippines allows for foreigners not to have to make any real life decisions, I mean it. There's very little circumstances that I can think of where a foreigner forced to say, damn, do I want this or do I want that? There's very little instances where that is a problem for most foreigners. Correct me if I am wrong. But also with that comes gluttony and greed and all of that shit because you feel like now you're entitled to have it all, you know? You start wherein, yeah, man, I'm coming to the Philippines and I realize that my money goes a longer way here. I can do a lot more with the cash that I have. I can indulge a little bit. I can have more fun, i.e., the 2 week millionaire mentality and the things that we've talked about in the past. And once you realize that there's very little reason or very little situation wherein you have to make any drastic decisions on where you want to eat at, where you want to drink at, who you want to be with, who you're trying to smash with, it starts to get to the point where foreigners become gluttonous by nature. Is that a bad thing? It could be a bad thing. Trust me, it could damn sure be a bad thing. But while you're in it, it feels like the greatest thing on planet Earth, man. Feels like the greatest thing that God could ever give to a man. I talk a lot of shit about Angeles City, Angeles City. I talk a gang of shit about AC. I talk a gang of shit about AC. But if there's one thing that I notice about AC and the way that I describe it to anybody who's never been there, AC is nothing more than a grown man's Disneyland. Because you can indulge and have your best life, man. And very few people will go against that. Very few people will have any naysayer comments about it. Yes, there are going to be a couple of foreigners that'll be like, I mean, a couple of Filipinos or locals that may not feel the vibe. But when you know that the foreigners spending money in the country and doing all this extra shit is doing nothing more than helping to benefit the economy in one way, shape, or form, you kind of just let it go. When you feel as though you can benefit from the foreigner spending money, very few people have very little things to say. And as a result, that gluttony, that greed, and all the shit, the oversatisfaction, overindulgence, and shit like that, it could lead to problems if you don't know how to check it. And a lot of foreigners do not know how to check it. I don't expect you to know how to check it. Why? Because you've never been in a place like the Philippines where you've had to check it. Granted, if you come from the United States, you probably understand the logic between choosing between this and choosing between that. But if you spend any time in the Philippines, it's like, motherfucker, I could have it all if I wanted to, or I could have more of this if I wanted to. You know, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But that's the conversation I wanted to have today, man. 14 in the building. I see only 7 likes. What y'all doing to the boy tonight? I don't know. Feelings hurt. All right, so y'all make sure y'all drop a like, man. Make sure y'all caress and less and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants, it needs, it most definitely has to have it. Like I said, if you guys want to support, please feel free to do so. Of course, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through. Spend a little bit of time with your boy tonight. Now and then, let's go ahead and get back to business. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Comment section below, chat box below. Let's go ahead and have a conversation, man. Do you believe that that there's any situation where you have to make any real life decisions in the Philippines? Do you believe there's any place where you feel like, okay, this is outside of like health scares and outside of buying properties and shit like that? Do you believe there's any situation where foreigners are really forced to have any real life decision making in the Philippines? Personally, I can't come up with one. Unless it's like, what can I say this? Unless it's your choice as the man to make the decision. In most situations, they're very rarely are you forced to actually make any decisions unless it comes down to things that cost a lot of money, like properties and like healthcare and stuff like that. All right. So my man King Arthur all the way from sunny San Diego. Appreciate y'all locking in. My brother Robert. I know you in the background, Pimp. Appreciate you locking in. My man Manny, Get Lost Vlogs. I see you, man. Tim H, what's good with you, bro? King Arthur, I wish I could tell you what's in the cup, sir, but if I did, I I, I don't know, man. Eisen, appreciate you coming through. She says watching your streams has been one of the most relaxing or my form of relaxation after work. I just appreciate you listening to me talk shit because that's pretty much all this is. Just a man having an opinion about a topic of conversation and bringing it to the audience so that we can all share in the dialogue about it. Pretty much where it begins and ends, but I appreciate you locking in. Hey, man, those the minutes that people watch this shit, it all adds up for me, so I appreciate you. Um, let's see. My man SML says, I bet it lasts the whole show. That's when you know it's something good in that. Oh, you talking about my cup? Yeah, man. When you take them good sips, bro, like this, mm, you gotta take your time with it. Uh, Marcus Lewis, what's going on, man? I don't bring that energy in here, man. Personally, I don't want to have any conversation about that. That has nothing to do with me. I don't know the story, and I don't want anybody spreading any false information. That's not cool. So I don't know what happened. Somebody tried to email me about it earlier. I don't really believe in any of that stuff right now. Like I said, there's two sides, there's three sides to every story. Everybody has three sides. What's really going on, their side, his side. Okay. So that's the way we're gonna leave it. Um, let's see. My man Kang, what's good with you, man? He said tapping into that live stream for that algorithm. The title was troubling. It's very disturbing, man. It's very disturbing. The reason why it is disturbing is the simple fact that there's very little decision making outside of major purchases like property and healthcare situations that foreigners really have to make any valuable decisions in life. You can have damn near anything you want to in the Philippines. I say that loosely. You can have damn near anything that you want in the Philippines. Whether you get it or not, whether you go for whatever it is that you want or not, that is completely up to you. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that every time that you go somewhere, or every time you involve yourself in something, if you really want it that bad, you can get it. That's why I say the Philippines is the absolute worst place to go if you have any vices. I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times more. The Philippines is the absolute worst place for a foreigner if you have any vices. VICES, vices. You know what those are. If you drink a lot, if you smoke a lot, I don't know. Even if you got like what do you call it? What do they call it when you like sex too much? What do they call them shit? Like sex addicts? But there's a name for it. What is the name for sex addicts or some shit? Yes, even if that's your mentality or your vibe, trust me when I tell you that the Philippines is the worst place for that. Because you can indulge, man, and you can overindulge. Gluttony is a motherfucker here in the Philippines. Trust me, coming from somebody who has seen it all, coming from somebody who has seen a person go into a bar 8 o'clock in the morning to get fucking shit faced before lunchtime. Take it from somebody who has gone into LA Cafe, who I've seen going to LA Cafe 8 a.m. in the morning just to grab some chick out the bar so that they can get laid, right? Take it from somebody who has seen this shit. This ain't nothing to play with, bro. This country scared the hell out of you if you don't know what you're doing. But it's so much fun. And I'm telling you, it's so much fun until it ain't fun no more. Trust me when I tell you, it's a gang of fun until it ain't fun no more. A gang of fun until it ain't fun no more. In the title, I get it. It is troubling. But again, as a person who's lived that life and who's been about that life for a significant amount of time, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that if you don't come there with a clear head, man, it's very dangerous, bro. It's dangerous as hell. But yeah, I appreciate you tapping in for that algorithm, man. Even if y'all don't listen to it, put me on silence. I'll be all right. I believe the name is Halo. What's going on with you, brother? Appreciate you coming in. Robert, there you go, pimping. Like nymphomaniacs or people who are really like overly sexualized and shit like that. Whatever you call them, yo, if you have those issues, the Philippines is the worst place to come because there will be no helping you, my friend. And the motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to help you. They will be able to help you, but they ain't gonna be able to help you get over it. They'll probably help you indulge in it. So again, when I tell you, it makes it very hard for foreigners to make any real life decisions It's true. Why make first of all, why would you want to make a decision when you can have it all if you want to? Again, let me make sure I preface this because I feel like people may take this the wrong way, but let me make sure you understand what I mean. Not every girl in the Philippines gonna want you, but money makes you hella attractive. Let me say that out loud real quick. One more time for the ones in the background, for the ones in the way back and the nosebleeds. Let me say this one more time for you. Damn, what did I say? I forgot what I said. My bad, but y'all know what the fuck I meant. All right, if you don't have to make any decisions, why would you want to? If you're not forced to make any decisions, why would you want to? Riddle me that, Batman. Why would you feel it in your heart of hearts to make any type of life changing decisions when you don't have to? Why would you choose one girl over the other when you can have them both? Let's go ahead and address that elephant in the room. But like I said, a lot of people don't play that game. I'm just saying, man, a lot of people don't play that game like that. A lot of people play their games differently. And I've noticed that a lot of foreigners, man, if you can collect, have multiple girlfriends and things like that, you tend to try to stretch that as far as you possibly can. Till you realize it's a bad idea, you're gonna continue stretching that shit. I'm not mad at you for doing it. Somebody else might be mad at you for doing it, but Doc ain't gonna be mad at you for doing that because you're living your best life. But again, you have to understand when there's no real reason to make any real life decisions, why would you want to? For example, in the United States, to keep it real with you, in comparison to the Philippines, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Because if you're in a relationship with somebody in the United States, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to trick off over here on the side chick and deal with this chick at the exact same time. You know, you're claiming one, not claiming the other. It becomes a whole situation. You feel me? A very, 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 very complicated situation. And then if old girl finds out about old girl and it just becomes a whole situation, now it all blows up in your face, right? Bam, you don't lost them all. Heaven forbid you got a girl pregnant or some chick got a baby out of it. Now you gotta go pay child support because now she pissed off because you was fucking old girl on the side of shit. You realize the headache that comes with trying to micromanage two situations. That's the best way for me to explain it. Bring that same type of energy to to the Philippines. Let me make sure I preface this. I ain't telling you to cheat, right? I'm not condoning cheating or anything like that. I'm not telling you to go out there and go ham, go balls to the wall. I am not perfect. I will never sit here and tell you that I am. I got my own flaws and I live by my own shit. Hey, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. It is what it is. But I don't tell y'all to go out there and cheat on your bitch, on your girl. But if you are in a situation wherein one girl knows about another and y'all kind of just come up with an agreement upon things, why would you make the decision to be with one of them when you can have both of them? Say that one more time. When they both know about each other and everybody is in cohesion with one another, everybody know about one another, why would you make the decision to be with one of them when they're okay with you having both of them? Now, not every Filipino in the book is going to be okay playing second fiddle. My young lady don't play that shit. She is not the one. All right, so I don't even try that shit. I stick to one. I try to keep it all balanced. Try to keep it all balanced. Manny, I know, man. You gotta keep mouth shut. But it is what it is, man. I understand there are some people who can say things, some people who cannot. But again, I understand the energy. You got to understand your environment, where you at, what you into, man. Oh man, again, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds bugging like Doc, what the fuck is you talking about? If your finances can support it, and there's no real reason to make any real life decisions on whether you want her or her, and you don't have to draw out this big ass long ass grocery list of the pros and cons of being with so and so and the pros and cons of being with baby girl over here. Well, you ain't even got to do that, and you can kind of work it out between the two. It's kind of like, well, Mm. Decisions, decisions. Now you like, okay, when I ain't gotta choose, I ain't got nothing to lose, man. Fuck it. And I know it sounds crazy. Again, everybody gotta be on one accord. Doc's not gonna sit here and tell y'all that it's gonna work out that way for everybody, but there is a certain YouTuber. I say no names because I don't say names, but there's a certain YouTuber, tubers, that you often see with multiple women on their channels and shit. Whether they fucking or not, we don't know. But you get the hint, right? You get the lifestyle they're trying to perpetuate. You get the lifestyle that they're trying to perpetuate. And that's all it's basically I'm saying it without saying it. Dead ass, right? My man said he'll take two and get his freak on. Yes, sir. Again, everybody gotta be on one accord now. Don't be trying to force pieces to fit that don't fit. Cause it ain't gonna end very well. You gotta make sure everybody know their part, everybody respect their role, and at the end of the day, we can rock that. My man said Khalees said her milkshake was better. Ain't she single now? Don't she got like don't Khalees live on a farm now or something like that? She a farm girl or some shit. My man said had to deny him some baddies back in the day, man. I know the pain, bro. I know the pain. Like that crying emoji holds so much weight right now. Cause me and you are not that far from the same, my guy. That crying emoji right there holds a lot of weight. Because on the inside, I'm pretty sure it killed you to have to say no. Again, we are the product of the decisions that we have made. Okay? You chose to kick it, settle down with your young lady. I'm kind of rocking in that same damn boat. We are the product of the decisions that we make. And I try to make sure that I reiterate that a lot in this particular topic of conversation because we're not really forced to make any real life decisions, man. We are not at all forced to make any real life decisions. Not as a foreigner in the Philippines. Shit, if I could get all these girls to be okay with the simple fact that, yo, I'm trying to see what this life be like. I'm trying to see what that thing is like. It's kind of like, well, this foreigner man, he's attractive, he's cute, financially well off. And you mean to tell me that I only have to share my time with one other female? And he's still gonna take care of me. All I gotta do is cook and clean, and my finances is taken care of. I don't have to go out there and get a job working at Jollibee. I don't have to go out there and get a job working at Gaisano or SM Mall. I don't have to go out there and be a fruit vendor. I don't have to go out there and sell dried fish and shit. And this foreigner is gonna take care of me. Well, decision made, ladies and gentlemen. I would rather be one of two than out there on the street trying to be an independent woman. Because y'all know that independent woman talk that they be talking about here in the United States, right? I'm a strong independent woman. I got my own job. I got my own this. Damn, I can't even spell this shit. It was INDPENDENT. Girl, do you know what I mean? It's a song back in the day for y'all that don't know. It's a rap song. But yeah, all this independent women talk. Filipinos don't care. Shit. I think most Filipinos are okay with being the submissive to a man. Like they kind of feel like they're raised to do that. Most of them. Like they want to be tethered to a man. By the time they're 30, they're expected to be married and have kids. We know that. I mean, I said it myself. Other YouTubers, Filipino YouTubers, have mentioned the exact same train of thought. Society, tradition, culture, whatever you want to call it, they're basically at the age of 30 supposed to be settled down with kids to an extent. Don't always work that way, and that's fine, right? Because that leaves an opportunity for people who are in their latter years or people looking to start their lives over to deal with a young lady that doesn't necessarily have kids to their name. Give you a whole different perspective. All right, let's try this thing all over again. It didn't work out the first time, so guess what? I'm gonna try it again. And young lady, 30, 35 years old, nobody's looking at her the way that I'm looking at her. Okay, let's see where this thing goes. Again, there's always weighing the pros and cons because as a foreigner, when you're weighing the pros and cons of whether you should choose or not choose to be with a young lady, I'm going to be honest with you, those Filipinos are weighing the exact same pros and cons. Okay, So a foreigner tells me that he wants me to be one of his girls, which means that you openly agree to be one of a couple of girls that are entertained by this guy. The cons. The only con to it is you got to share your time with another female, right? Share your time with another female. And you also have to what? Share your time, effort, energy. No, share your time with another female and split the finances of this foreigner with other women that he may be entertaining. On the flip side, you don't necessarily have to have a job, don't have to go to work or anything. You just got to make sure that you play your part, know your role, and you can sit around and enjoy your best life. But on the con side, you got to understand that you can't expect this reality to be forever. Any Filipino who's real about that shit, they need to understand that that reality is not meant to last forever. I would hate for the foreigner to get tired and then say, well, I don't want to deal with this girl anymore. Well, okay, and I don't want to deal with her. So once you're no longer in the fold or quote unquote within the rotation, I hate to say it that way, and if foreigner gets rid of you, now you're in a position where now you have to try to finance your whole situation again. Now you got to figure out either you're going to lock yourself or latch yourself onto the next foreign guy, or you're actually going to go out there and try to get you a job and you're going to try to work and stuff. So you have to be able to accept the pros and cons of every situation that comes about, right? You got to understand that you're coming into this situation at a deficit, love. I want you to be real with yourself. Ladies, be real with yourself. You're coming into the situation at a deficit, and you need to understand that because the foreign man is probably bringing the majority, if not all, of the finances to the situation. So as a result, this man is in position to make the necessary decisions. But if his decision is, I want you and somebody else and possibly somebody else, you got to figure out within yourself, love, if you're okay with that situation. You have to figure out within yourself, love, if you're okay with being one of two or one of three. And understand that these situations aren't meant to last forever. It can last a long time. I pray that it does for you, but I'm not meant to last forever. Okay. And that's just me talking out loud, but it's me trying to spit some truth and logic into whatever situation it is that you find yourself in. And as long as you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you drop a like, make sure you caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. And wanted it, needs it, most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're and then I see we got 15 on and 9 likes. I don't think y'all fucking with me tonight. I don't know, man. Y'all making me feel away. Likes are free. Again, supports is optional. The likes are definitely mandatory. I don't even care if you drop a dislike. My life doesn't end because of it. Hey, don't shame me again, my G. Hey, I don't fault you. You do what you gotta do, man. You do you. Mandy, I'm sorry that you had to reject her recently. I know that pain is still hitting a little different in your soul. I know. I know the feeling, my brother. I know the feeling. Mm, I know the feeling. When you got to say, no, man, can't do it, no matter how bad I really want to do it, but I can't do it, ain't nothing worse than that, for sure. He says, so those independent women mindsets seem to die alone. No, they don't necessarily die alone. They got a cat or a dog or something like that, or a fish. So technically, they don't die alone. They just die without a man. Believe you me, all this independent woman mindset, yo, yo. You can talk that independent shit if you want to. You're gonna be by yourself forever. And that's okay with me. I don't need you. Trust me, I'll find somebody who wants to figure out how we can work out this situation together. Either they die alone or they die being a side chick because nobody wants to marry them because their mindset is so shit for the most part. But anyways, my man, you are definitely on point with that one. He says, I want a Filipino that has no kids and we can start a family together. 99.9% of foreigners will say that. And of course, they have every right to want whatever it is that they want. Again, in the Philippines, guys, when you're in a place where you're not forced to make any decisions, hey, man, no real life decisions. What can I tell you? I shared the story with you guys one time before. Recently, I know, but I'm going to share it with you one more time. There was this gentleman who was in my doctorate degree class. I realized this man had a family in like every damn island in the Philippines. He had four different families, carried around four different cell phones for each of the families. I think he at least had one kid with every one of the girls, so he at least had a minimum of four kids total. And his work required him to travel. So when he travels to different locations, those are the only times wherein he is around that particular family. So I think he has a family in Manila, has a family in Cebu. I think he has one in Davao more specifically, and then there's one other area. I think he has a family, like a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other, and a kid with that person. It blew my mind. I said, first of all, I can barely manage one, let alone two. You trying to manage four? Many blessings to you, my friend, because I ain't fucking with that. You pushing it a little bit with the faux joint. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. If you can manage that, you do whatever it is that you want to do. But you do have to understand and accept the fact that eventually that fucking bridge can blow up massively in your face. If you're trying to keep it a secret. If everybody know about each other and she knows the reason you're not answering the phone at a particular moment in time is because you find yourself with family number three or girlfriend number two, well, at least she knows. She'll leave a message. You call her ass back. I don't know, man. Learn the song LS Dub. What's good with you, bro? He says independent women. He says, gosh, my gal is in depends. Don't get the excitement. Ah, my man says we keeping it true every day, dog. He said, talk that talk, bro. I know it hurts. You know what? If I was your guidance counselor, I would tell you. Nah, I don't want to say if your guidance counselor, but me being your boy and me understanding your situation and me knowing the trials and tribulations of being in a relationship, I know it hurt. It's like something you think about all the time. When you in that deep dark space in your mind, and maybe baby girl cutting up one day and she getting on your nerves, you be like, God damn it. Little do you know, ooh, I could have had me somebody else right now, girl. You fucking up. I be having those moments too where you be staring at her when she be getting on your goddamn nerves. She be like, girl, if only you knew how much pussy on the side I could be getting right now. And your ass want to sit there and cut up in front of me right now. Oh, you better be glad I love you, bitch. Ooh, I be having those moments all the time. I haven't had them lately since we've been away from each other for a little bit of time, but there'll be those moments, man, when you've committed yourself to a relationship, right? You've committed yourself to a relationship. You're like, all right, I'm claiming you, you're claiming me. This is the way that it is meant to be, right? There comes a time where everybody has that story, but god damn it, if baby girl don't get on your nerves one day and you just be staring at her like, bitch, oh, if I could choke you, I could, oh, I would. Oh, you pissed me off today. And girl, you have no idea how much pussy I could be having on the side right now, and you want to sit here and keep talking all this shit. But you be saying that shit to yourself because if she realizes that you could have all these girls on the side, if she realized all the females that be approaching you on the low, trying to slide you phone numbers and getting up in your DMs and sliding into your Instagram, hitting you up on your Facebook page, doing all that extra shit, sliding into the DMs on your shit. Oh, if she only knew, you would never go out by yourself alone ever again. That's when I realized, nigga, you need to shut the fuck up. That's when I realized that within myself. Because if I expose myself enough, she gonna realize what's really going on, and I might get myself in trouble trying to pop off at the mouth because I'm angry. So you never want to talk yourself into a deep hole. Because baby girl gonna be in the cut like, oh, you mean to tell me that you've been talking to other girls, huh? Even if the truth is you ain't been talking to nobody. But because you said, oh, if you knew how many girls I had on the side who wanted to get with this boy right now, god damn it, girl, you would be on your best behavior, but you won't sit here and got the fuck up in front of company and shit, We go through our emotions. That's what relationships is all about. I live it. I'm about that shit. So I know what it is. But at the end of the day, you calm down. You're like, you know what? Let's just breathe through this one. Cause goddamn it, you pushing it, girl. You pushing it. But I promise you, if I ain't love you as much as I did, girl, I would have been swimming in some side pussy all day long. That's what I be telling myself. If I didn't love you as much as I loved you, I would be neck deep in some punan as we speak. Some girls' legs would be wrapped around my shoulders as we speak. I would have some girl bent over the counter as we speak if I didn't love you as much as I did. But again, that's just the shit I tell myself because you know it's true. But you know, we kind of just let it go. Again, you only say that shit when you're upset. But like I said, man, the Philippines is a place where you're not really forced to make any real life decisions. So as a result of you not having to make those decisions, guess what? You don't make them. You just chill out. You live your best life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not required to choose this girl over this girl. I'm gonna have them both. Fuck it. They gotta know about each other though. If you want to make it work, don't be trying to like silence and be on the side and shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You damn sure can't do that in the same city. If you live in a small city like I do in Davao, type of energy won't that shit will not flow. You know, gotta be careful. Yo, 23 of y'all in the building. Hi everybody who just showed up today. For those of you who just showed up, man, make sure you drop a like on the video for the good time, man. Make sure you caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. It won't sit it needs it most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, I am happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're then. For those just locking in, man, we're talking about the Philippines and how it makes it extremely difficult for us as foreigners to make any real life decisions. Why do we have to not make any real life decisions? Because we can damn near indulge in anything that we want to. Now, I digress when I say any real life decisions. Now, if we're talking about buying property or we're talking about doing things that cost us a large amount of money, yes, that requires us to make decisions on whether we want to do it or not. But if we're talking about going to a bar 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if we're talking about smoking, if we're talking about drinking, if we're talking about being nymphomaniacs and fucking as many girls as we possibly can, there's very little limit on what we can do in the Philippines. Very little limits on what we can do. As a result, we're not forced to make any real life decisions over there. We're not forced to choose at all. In the United States, it always feels like we're fucking choosing. Ah, man, well, I can do that, but I can't do this, man. I can have that, but I can't have this. If I choose to get that, then I can't get this. That seems to be the mentality of us in the United States, man. Life is all about the choices and the decisions that we make. Granted, the decisions that we make in the Philippines are definitely based on our own personal life choices. As a result, we're not really forced to make any of them, especially when we can have, especially if our finances can support any decision that we make. Then when are we really forced to make any real life decisions? Very rarely, ladies and gentlemen. Very rarely. All right. Sincerely, how you doing, love? Priest. Much love to you. Always good to see you in the building. My man, Big Brother, he said if you grew up in a patriarchal, setting, i.e., where men have balls and call the shots. You can't stand the independent types. True. Even if you like her in all other respects, it gets to your nerve very often. Me too. My man Julian, what's going on, Pimp? Appreciate you coming through, man. Showing love to all my brothers out there. I know my man Big Brothers in, I want to say New Zealand. I keep getting it fucked up. Sometimes New Zealand, Australia, my bad. But shout out to my man from New Zealand and of course my man Julian in the UK, all the way from down under. Filipinos don't die alone. We're tight with our families. Touche, love. I can't argue with that one. Filipinos do not die alone because there's always a family member in the background everywhere that you go, and they are definitely family-oriented individuals. So as a result, in the Philippines, in the United States, you can speak that independent woman talk if you want to, but trust me, no man gonna want to entertain that shit because it feels as though you're trying to out masculate a masculine man, if that makes sense. You're trying to be more masculine than the person in the relationship that is meant to be the masculine one. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know any dude that'll sit there and deal with a masculine woman if they don't have to. So Filipinos, y'all would never die alone either. You would never die alone either. Julian, I'm so sorry to hear that, bro. I did not know. I did not know. That sucks. All right, I did not. I that was a situation. That's unfortunate. Damn. My prayers go out to you and your young lady's family for sure. Mm. But yeah, man. Isa, you're right though. Filipinos will never, never be alone. It reminds me of that Michael Jackson song. You are not alone. I am here with you. I know you're far away, but I'm here to stay. Some shit like that. Can't remember the song verbatim, but y'all know that Michael Jackson song. I mean, we are a product of the decisions that we make. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Granted, we are not forced to make any life decisions, really, any life, really major decisions in life. Most of the time, there comes a time where when we do have to make those decisions, most foreigners ain't ready. When it ever comes down to the point where foreigners actually have to make that decision, most of us ain't ready to make it. When it gets to the point where in shit about to blow up and everything's about to go crazy, uh there comes a point where in a decision must be made, whether you want to make it or not. On the daily basis, you're not forced to make that decision. You can live your best life and very few people will question it, especially when it's an expectation. I think most Filipinos have an understanding of what foreigners are like and what foreigners are about. Now, there has been a major controversy that's been popping up on YouTube lately that I never paid attention to and never gave a fuck about. But when it came up, I was surprised and I was like, yo, my man is getting his spot blown up by all these girls behind the scenes and some YouTube dude and some YouTube female, and everybody's going through their shit. And it come to find out that one of the chicks he was talking to on the side, he still trying to holla at again and broke up with some other girl and stuff. I heard this shit. I was like, man, this is the main reason why I am so glad my girl don't give a fuck about YouTube. I'm glad she don't give a shit about YouTube. She do videos, she be in the cut chilling. But apparently there was a couple on YouTube, they broke up or something, and then another girl came out talking some ish in the cut and shit, and I'm like, bruh, see, oh, I don't know why so and so broke up with me. And then, back in the day, if you would go back through old girl videos, she had videos about old buddy, whether he was cheating on her or not, or she was with him because he wasn't a cheater or some shit. That shit come back to bite you in the ass, which is why you'll never hear Doc talking that shit like, man, the me would have never cheat on me. The me would never do this. The me would never do that, because I don't know what people's capabilities are. I love my girl to death and I trust her. I trust that she is in a position to make great life decisions when fucking with me. Okay, I pray that she is in a great position and in the right frame of mind, in the right frame of mind to make great life decisions when it comes to anything that could fuck up what we got going on. I give her the benefit of the doubt, but some situations don't work that way, right? Best way for me to put it, it don't work that way. My man Julian says, in the Western world, most decisions are made for us. We live in a hamster treadmill. They truly do make the decisions for us. I can agree with that. My man said, I don't even know who these people are. Yeah, because I didn't say names. I didn't say names, Manny. Shit. I don't have my phone with me, but I'll eat. Well, even if I emailed you the names of the people I was talking about, or I'm sorry, send you a Facebook Messenger, I don't even know their YouTube names like that. I don't even give a fuck. But the point is, when I heard the story, I knew the names only because somebody recently had talked about them in a video I was watching. So all I know is that somebody ain't dating somebody else. They're both YouTubers, and all of a sudden, some chick sliding in somebody's comment section talking about how baby girl was trying to get, old boy was trying to get with so and so, and this, that, and the other, and this, and the, just you know the fuckery, man. You got to be a part of the fuckery. Even if I'm in the cut in the background, I just be laughing. I said, this ain't got shit to do with me, so why should I involve myself in it? You know. So yeah, man, that was just a conversation I had, or at least something that was entertaining that I found out during the week that people are doing the most for no reason at all. All right, but yeah, man, that was the highlight of my week, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you guys got comments, questions, or complaints, I will gladly let you go on about your business, man. I just wanted to politic with y'all for a little bit, test the audience energy, see what you guys are feeling like. See what's on your minds. Julian, it's good to see you back in the building, man. It's good to see that the good doc is pretty much international, man. I got my boy, big brother in New Zealand that rocks with your boy. Appreciate you locking in, my man Julian from UK. For sure. My brother Robert in Vegas. And I don't know where everybody else is reporting in the world today. Usually I know. Isa, I believe you're in the Philippines, love. I appreciate you coming through. Sincerely, unless you're back overseas, I do believe you're still in the Philippines as well. Learning something worldwide. You never told me where you were, but I want to guess Canada. I'm not quite sure, but if you're not in Canada, please forgive me. I don't know where my man Lamont Taylor's reporting through. I know my man Manny, he's in the Philippines. Tim, I know you're in the States. I don't know what state you're repping right now. Kang, I don't know where you guys are repping. You got to leave your where you repping in the comment section below so I can shout out your state if you want me to knock that out for you. I know my man King Arthur is in sunny San Diego. So, like I said, man, usually I can tell where all my boys is from. And if my boy, what's his name? Uh, damn, Ahmed Global, he's usually reporting in from Kampala, Uganda. My man, 4:30 in the morning, he be listening. That boy dedicated to the squad. I can fuck with that. He said, Doc, where are you now? I'm in the US, man. I'm in the great state of North Carolina. Oh, my man Tony from the Bay Area, Oaktown. All right, my man in the building. So, like I said, I could pretty much get a test of where I'm being listened to and shit like that. And it's a good feeling to know that Doc is being heard in more than just one country. I like the fact that my people in the United States rock with me and shit like that, and they go heavy for the homie. What is required, but I can't lie, man. It feels good to know that my voice and all of this nonsense reaches people in different parts of the world. Oh, my man from Tampa, Florida. All right, Tim, I see you in the building. I know my man. I know what Mike Philippines journey. I think he said he's going back to Florida too. I think he's in the Florida area. Florida area. I don't know if it's Tampa Bay or the Tampa area, but yeah. Like I said, man, I like to know where my people are reporting from because, it's a good feeling to know that you know where your people are listening to you at, what geographical location you're being heard in at that particular moment in time. But many blessings to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. I hope that you guys are having a blessed evening. Florida's a good state for conservatives. Yeah. I think Florida's a red state. I think. Sometimes it goes blue, but most of the time it's a red state, I think. I think Florida's a red state. Carolina, definitely a red state. So yeah. Shout out to my man John Thomas. What's good with you, brother? John, where are you reporting in at, man? I don't know exactly what state or city you're in right now, man. I would love to, be able to shout out your city and state. That's what I've been doing for the last longest. But yeah, Petersborough, England, UK. Shout out to my man Julian all the way from the UK, man. Appreciate you locking in. My man JD reporting from Texas. He said, but it was Myrtle Beach last week. Deserted beaches and beautiful. Hey, man, I love going to Myrtle Beach. I do, man. I went to Myrtle Beach during spring break, and I said, this is it for me. Bitches in bikinis and thongs and shit. I said, sign me up. It was crowded. I didn't like that. But other than that, I fuck with it. Heavy. My dad lived down in Myrtle Beach, man. He like 30 minutes outside of Myrtle Beach. So yeah, whenever we're there, we do spend a little bit of time on the boardwalk. Up in North Myrtle, not actual Myrtle Beach, but up in North Myrtle Beach, we spend a lot of our time. Oh, Long Island, New York. All right, John, I appreciate you locking in all the way from upstate New York, New York. All right, ladies and gentlemen, unless you got anything you want to add to the conversation, anything you want to talk about, I definitely. My man said Strong Island in the building. I know my New York boy. I know my New York boys when I hear them, man. For sure, for sure. Man, real estate in New York be expensive, man. God, hey, I know they be taxing the hell out they people. Just the other day, I realized why people are like really big on going into business for themselves. I always knew it, but when you realize how they tax you as an employee, oh, Long Island ain't upstate, nigga. I don't know, Manny. I don't know. That's why I don't go to New York. I ain't never been to New York. I'm sorry, my bad. That's why you can't get away with saying any type of things to my brothers from New York. I don't know that city, bro. I don't know shit about no New York. Uh, but yeah, man. He said, "What?" And another interesting question: where is everyone's destination when they get back to the Philippines? All right, bet. Yo, test in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Where is everybody's location when they go back to the Philippines? Like When you physically are able to travel, where do you feel like you will spend the majority of your time, whether it be a vacation or whether you choose to settle down long term? Where are we at? Manila? Are we in AC? Are we in Davao? Are we in Cebu? Are we in Zambales? Are we in Zamboanga? Where are we gonna go? Good question. Well, good question. Well, Julian, you can find me in Davao, bro. He said the wife and I was at Baker's Beach. Listen, dude, beach. Nah, man, I don't feel comfortable with my clothes off, man. I don't feel comfortable with my shit just hanging around. I don't want people looking at me funny. Yo, where's everybody's location when they touch down back into when they're able to come back into the Philippines? Doc, definitely Davao. You know that's where you're gonna find me, man. He said wherever the girlfriend happens to be, most condos seem to be buying into Dumanguete. Dumanguete, man, that is a place that I hear a lot about. I've never been myself and probably will never go. My man said the new beach wasn't thought of what I wasn't what you thought it would be. Hey man, what them titties didn't sit right with you, man? A bunch of old people, wrinkly skin. Sometimes that's what like when I go to Germany, that was like one of those experiences I really wanted to do. I said, yeah, let me go to a German nude beach. Let me see what that life is like. Like really what them people are like. Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's just the same, bro. I don't feel it. I don't feel it at all. Man, he said my GF always told me about 100 islands. Yeah, I've heard of that too. I've never been though. I've never done. But yeah, man, where's everybody's general location when they come back to the Philippines? Where do you feel like you're gonna settle in during your vacation and or during your time spent in the Philippines, however long it will be, long term or short term? I know a lot of my guys who haven't been to the Philippines yet. You're gonna probably want to explore a little bit. You're probably gonna want to see a whole bunch of different locations. You know, try to figure out what place seems to suit you the best. So you're probably gonna bounce around a little bit, which is cool. I encourage you guys to do that. But you know, my man says I've been listening to a guy in Cavite or Cavite province, and it seems attractive if you want to settle close to Manila and cheap. Touche. My man John says he wants to settle down in good old QC out there in Quezon City. Quezon City is vast, man. Damn. I didn't know how big QC was until I was actually in it. Like maybe it was big because where I was traveling from was one side of QC to the other. We're talking about Fairview to the other side of where Santa Ana is. It was a pretty decent travel. I believe that was Santa Ana. Santa Mesa? Santa Mesa, Santa Ana. I don't know. The Mindoro Islands. Touche. I have never been there. Sounds like a place to put on the map for sure. My man said he's going to. Oh hell no, Cabedbaran, Agusan del Norte, Mindanao to start. Probably Cagayan de Oro. Always go to Cagayan and Davao for a final destination. CDO, man, I think CDO would be a dope final destination for me. I've always loved CDO. I've always had a passion for that place. Like low key, like I don't tell nobody. I do tell y'all, but most of the time I don't tell people this, but if it's not Davao, it would be Cagayan de Oro. If it wasn't Davao, it would be CDO as a place where I would really want to settle in. My dad wanted me to go to Xavier University, which is Ateneo de Cagayan. Um, that's the most prestigious school in the area. You can Google it. Xavier University is also known as, like I said, Ateneo de Cagayan. He wanted me to go there for my master's degree program, but I ended up staying in Davao, and I didn't go there. But that is a great program, one of the good schools to go into. So that would have been where I would have settled for at least the 2 years, maybe even the full 6 years that it would have taken me from that point to get my doctorate degree. That would have probably been where I ended up at. So Cagayan is definitely one of those places that have a soft spot in the good doc's heart because I've been there, I've experienced it, and I love it. Like it's really something different out there in CDO. It'll always be a close second to Davao, but if Davao ever becomes like a Cebu or a Manila, mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gone. If Davao gets to the point where it's overcrowded and populated and all of that shit, and y'all come through and fuck it up for me, All you Kanos, whatever the fuck you call you, well, all you foreigners come up in there and start messing it up for me, and they start turning Davao into Little Manila. I'm gone. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't aspire for that. Right? I'll keep that shit. But I love me some Cagayan de Oro, bro. I'm keeping Cagayan close to the heart, man. I'm keeping that one close to the chest. So if Doc needs to escape, y'all are the only ones who know. Mm. He said, I think I'll visit Davao and Dumaguete. I feel like I have to go to Dumaguete. I feel like if I'm in the Philippines, as much as foreigners talk about it, it almost feels like I have to go there. It just feels that way. Like you got to go there and experience yourself. So I might check it out. Probably not, but I might give it a chance. He says I'd like to see more of the Philippines, but traveling within the country is a bit of a chore, even before COVID. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, and it does depend on where you're going. Now, if you're talking about going to those deep rural places and stuff like that, like even to go to Boracay, it could be a chore. You don't fly directly into Boracay. You fly into one place and you take a 2 to 3 hour bus ride to get you to where the Boracay beaches are. At least that's the way that I remember it the last time I heard about somebody traveling to Boracay. You fly into one place, you shut it down, then you got to get on a 2 or 3 hour bus ride just to get your ass right. Right? No, none of that. None of that. It's fucking bullshit. That's why I've never been to Boracay and probably don't desire to go there. Now, my boys have been talking to me a lot about Doc, man. Don't worry about Boracay, bro. You go to the other place. Fuck. I said the other place because I forgot it off the top of my head. That goes to show you how old I'm getting. If I had hair, you would see the grays, man. It's fucking crazy. But there's another spot. What's the other place? Boracay, and then there's the other place with the beautiful water. Eighth wonder of the world. I forgot. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyways, they used to tell me to go check that place out too. And I'll probably end up there before I end up in Boracay. Boracay just don't fit the bill for me, man. I don't even care for beaches like that. Boracay is just a place you go to take pictures and to do the shit. Other than that, man, there's no real reason to spend any time in Boracay for me. At all. Shout out to my man UK. What's going on with you, brother? I'm always trying to keep it as best I can, man. Much love to you, Pep. Appreciate you locking in. He said Doc has to go to Duma and we'll see a bunch of really, really old guys walking around and talking loudly. I gotta do it, man. I think it's mandatory by law. I gotta do it. My man said Cebu expired for him a long time ago. He said there's no hey man, why you gonna hate on Cebu? I heard Cebu is where it is, man. Palawa. There you go. Told you, bro. I'm getting old. I'm getting old as shit. It is Palawan. It's Boracay and Palawan. I was thinking about specific. Fuck it, y'all know what I meant. Palawan. Appreciate that because I was losing it. I was losing it there for a second because I really forgot off the back of my head what it is. What is really old? Old is old to me. He said I like the unbeaten paths for sure. If you haven't had it on TV or YT, that's my place. A bit too risky at times, but I like the thrill of it. Yeah, like I said, you will definitely have a chore traveling around the Philippines if those are the places that you're choosing to go. Because you're not just going to fly into it and then you're there and you get to travel around. No, no. You fly into a major city. We're talking about a trek of about 6, 7, 8 hour bus ride from wherever you are to get to those, what I would like to refer to as those unknown destinations. So, yeah, you're definitely going to have to deal with it. But if you find it to be worth it overall, then the trip itself will be just part of the experience, So it ain't really nothing you can trip about. Like I said, I had to do the 8 hour bus ride from Cagayan to Davao and vice versa. I didn't care for it at all, but I did it. And I realized that Cagayan was actually a pretty dope situation. And it really did open my eyes to certain situations and shit like that I'm glad that I got to experience. I went to a business conference in Cagayan. That's what introduced me to it. It was a school event, and we were invited as a school to go to this business conference. It was called the MBMYC, the Mindanao Business Management Youth Congress. And I used to go to all of them. When I realized that it was a trip to Cagayan, it was cheap as fuck, and I could go there. I could pay for my accommodations and do all of that stuff. I used to have to stay with my teachers, though. I found that weird as fuck. Like, the first time I went by myself. It was me and my teacher. I don't want to tell you that story because that story gets into some shit. And I never told anybody that story a day in my life, but I went with my teacher, and my teacher was she was on the young end, so we'll just leave it at that. Me and her were damn near close to the same age. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. She was probably 5 years older than me, maybe three. Nobody knows about that story yet, and I never even shared it, and that's cool. I'm glad I never did. But I had to share a room with my instructor, which was crazy. It was crazy, crazy. Now, again, this was before the meme one, so I'm safe. But I'm just saying, nobody's ever heard of this story before, and I'll probably never share it. I'll probably make it a Patreon video. So if you guys are not on my Patreon, quick plug, real quick, man, description area below. You can sign up for them. I'll put it up on both of them so you guys can hear the story. But real talk, man. Appreciate you locking in, man. 13 in the building, man. Y'all make sure you get the likes up. Make sure you caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs, it most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now and then, let's get to business, man. But I understand, man, the risk, the thrill, the risk reward situation. I feel you. Cebu is overpopulated and saturated now. Yeah, them Koreans are taking over. I'm fucking with you, man. But yeah, there's a lot of foreigners there too. I've kind of gotten to the point where I feel like Philippine YouTube itself is oversaturated and overpopulated. Every day there's a new channel coming out. So I kind of feel like, damn, bro, what can I do to separate myself from all these people? That's why you see me coming out with the videos that I do, talking about the content that I do, trying to make myself stand out a little bit. Hey, black guy in the corner, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I can understand it, man. In most areas, it is getting overpopulated and saturated. And people with their vlogging and shit like that, it becomes, there's not much to see outside of that. Like if you really take all the vloggers and put them all together, they've covered a majority of the places that foreigners want to tap into. So as a result, there's going to be very few places that a foreigner can vlog and show you experiences that you haven't already seen before. AC is, oh my God, that place has been stomped over. Walking Street has had so many videos, it's ridiculous. But you know what? Nobody can resist a good Walking Street video. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're expecting a titty to pop out or some shit from some chick on Walking Street, or a dick or something from them lady boys. I don't know what you expecting with these Walking Street videos. But damn it, if they don't cash in on the views when you put them out there, you know it. You know a Walking Street video is always going to hit different. Don't matter how you slice it. My man said during his escapades in the Philippines, if y'all want it, hey, more power to you, brother. More power to you. Off the beaten path is definitely where it is. I can never argue with that one. But like I said, high risk, high reward, depending on who you fucking with. He says, I'm old and I've got a bucket list. I've just added the dog. Has to tour me around the Philippines. Hey, man, look, I'll take you to a couple spots that I know, introduce you to a couple young ladies that I know, and I got you. Don't worry about it. If the Dr. Mike TV tour was a legit thing, I would show y'all a good time, man. Arrive at the airport, tricycle to terminal, then van or bus to another city terminal, then trike to a hotel. Definitely. That's the nigga. When you choose to go to places in the Philippines, guys, you've got to know where you're going, and you've got to know what it takes to get there. Because I promise you, that sounds exactly like what a Philippines trip is. Like if you're going to off the beaten path, my dude, you're gonna be taking some tricycles, you're gonna be taking some buses here. Somebody gonna bike you up this hill, and you from this top of this hill, you gotta walk about 10 miles that way just to get to where you need to go, man. Trust me, you will get lost. Oh yeah, that story about my instructor and I having to share a room together at my business conference. Yeah, man. Like I said, nope, and nobody thought anything of it at all. You know what was funny about that story? Nobody thought anything about a young foreign student having a room and board with his college professor. Nobody thought about it. Nobody said shit about it. What the fuck I'm gonna do? Cry about it? No, thank you. It was a double bed. It is what it is. So it's just crazy though. I mean, we all gotta wash up. We all gotta it's just crazy that nobody thought in their right mind that that would have been a great idea. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Needless to say, I kept that one to myself, and I'm gonna keep that one deep down. Keep that one in the heart of hearts, love. there, there was one story. Actually, there was one story that I did share. I shit you not. If you go to my Patreon, and I'm not trying to plug it, I'm just telling you that I put the story on Patreon because I wanted to put it on my actual YouTube channel, but I decided not to. There was a story that I shared about that one time that my student had a crush on me. Like when I was teaching at the university, I told y'all where I was teaching at. If you don't remember, I can't share it with you right now. But there was one time that one of my students, she was a senior about to graduate, she had a mad crush on me, and it was just weird. Like, I'm thinking, yo, you my kid, you my student. Yo, I can't look at you like that. But god damn it, if she was not persistent. And I'm gonna leave it at that. She was of age, let's not get it twisted. She was definitely like 19, 20. She don't care. But yeah, man, the stories I wish I could tell. That should be in the Bootyloo Chronicles part two. But we'll get into that another day, man. He said dog is a bro, dude. Man, I'm telling you, if I could share with you my realness, man, my real life story was a fucking classic, bro. My autobiography would be ill. Oh, it'd be so much fun. But I realized that literally all my stories would be dealing with like fucking. So it's kind of like, damn, bro, it's just that's what your life was like. You ain't got nothing else to share. It's not that I don't. It's just like the majority of my stories are like bomb as hell. Like if I could share it and narrate it for you how it all went down, you'd be like, Doc, there's no way in the world it went down like that. I could say yes, it definitely went down like that. Just like, and I think about it, man. I'm older now. I'm like, yo, man, you really did live a life, man. I used to be mad at myself because I felt I didn't live it up enough. But now I look back on it, I said I lived it up just as much as I possibly could without getting myself into too much trouble. And that's something I take to the grave with me, man. Like I said, I'll never tell you my instructor's name. I'll never tell her what she looked like. It was her first year there. It's like her first or her second year teaching at the school. So she was brand new, boy, fresh face. Like I said, man, you never know man, nobody asks questions. I ain't gonna tell you no lies. Come on, man. You know the teacher was female. Come on, man. Who you think you talking to? Eh, don't do me like that. Don't do me that dirty, man. Come on now. Y'all know better than that. Don't make me feel like I'm living that alternative lifestyle, bro. My shit swing one way and one way only, okay? And besides, we don't have a lot of like male teachers at that school. It's a Catholic school. What you think? They hire females. There was a couple of like male staff members. Some of them definitely about that life, that alternative lifestyle. Some of them was definitely a little fruity in the booty, but the majority of them were female, and all of my instructors were female. For my core classes, yeah. So if you need me to, if you need me to tell you definitively, yes, she was female. If that make you feel better, all right. He said anyone rock Northern Luzon north of Baguio, negative. But like I said, man, that's a wide open place for you to go ahead and just make it happen. Maybe the instructor was from a big family and used to know privacy and communal living. That could be true too, right? But it wasn't so much about how she dressed and how she went to bed and all of that shit. It was a lot that went into that story, man. A lot of like weird looks, awkward touching and shit. It was different. Like what led to everything going the way that it did, it was just like unexpected. That was all because I never looked at her like that at all. Never looked at my instructor like that. She wasn't old though. I mean, she was young. I said she probably been about 25, maybe 26, fresh graduate from Ateneo de Davao University from a teaching degree and blah 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 blah. She made it happen, Captain. I mean, again, keeping in mind my age in reference to my classmates, I was about 2 years older than them because they graduate. Yeah, it was about a 2 year age gap between my classmates and myself. Unless my classmates were somebody who returned back to school and they were just, doing their freshman year or whatever it may be, that was different. But somebody coming directly out of high school into college and stuff like that, they start college back when I used to go to college. They started at about 16 and I was about 18. So, you see, like I said, the 2 year age gap. So as time went on, we were always 2 years difference. So imagine at that time when I went to this business conference, I was 19 on the cusp of 20, and she was roughly about 23, 24, because that's about the time or the eight. No, actually, I digress. Back up, rewind. When they graduated, they started at 16. They're roughly graduating at about 21. So she probably got her MBA, and that was when she started working at our school. So she was on the cusp of 23 ish, 22 ish before she got a job working at our school. She may have been at the top end 24. I was roughly about 20. So again, that was probably about the biggest of the age gap and shit like that. So good times, no lies. And yeah, man, I love Filipinos, man. They have shown me a different side of life. Things that I wish I could tell, everything, but some things you just gotta keep to yourself, man. He said, add that to the basement tapes in the basement. Yes, sir. No, you know what I'm gonna add that to? I'm gonna add that to I got a burn pile, right? Like you have you ever had a burn pile in case I die, literally destroy my hard drive, throw this away, burn this, fuck this up. Don't let anybody see this in light of my death, okay? Because I promise you, if you see some shit that I got records and files of, man, people will never look at you the same again. Yeah, I got a burn pile. Like, look, if anything happens to me, I told my mom, I told my brother, I told my dad, if anything happens to me before any of y'all, this shit right here, yo, never let it see the light of day. Burn it, kill it, whatever you got to do to it. Never ever let anybody see this shit ever. That's how I live my life. Like I got a burn pile, like shit that needs to go away immediately. It needs to disappear. Somebody gonna make some money off me and my death, man. Somebody gonna sell the good doc sex tape, bro. I'm gonna be famous in death. I'm like, come on, man. If I wanted to do that, I should have sold that shit my damn self, make some money. Somebody gonna get my shit, talk about mediocre, C list, Z list, celebrity YouTuber, Dr. Mike TV. Oh my god, he passed away, blah blah blah, for whatever reason. But guess what? We just recently got a copy of his sex tape. First of all, that's gonna make my channel blow the fuck up. Ain't nothing worse than when your channel blows up only after you die. I'm like, come on, man, fuck all the work that I did before all this shit. Now all of a sudden y'all want to fuck with me because I got a sex tape now? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. That's the type of shit I think about. When I'm home alone and I'm in my own thoughts, that's the type of shit I think about. What happens when you die? So yeah, the burn pile, definitely. I got some shit on some hard drives that need to be deleted immediately. Like it's password protected, but burn that shit. Just find a way to just get rid of it, please. All right. That's pretty much how I live my life. There is an in case of emergency or in case of my death file set up specifically for shit to go away in light of my death. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. My man says I like being lost. I don't, but I understand. I understand. He said been in places with no phone signals, no GPS, and people speaking no English and we challenging. But those are the memories I cherish the most. Hey, my man, I'm gonna let you live that life. That shit scared the hell out of me. I'm not. Can't do it. He said, them stories are legendary. I know how you feel about the Philippines. Been that route in the Philippines 10 years ago. Them escapades, man, them shits hit different, bro. They truly do. And like I said, those I've had my fair share of being lost, but I'm just not willing to risk it. I got lost on accident. It wasn't on purpose, man. I had to clarify because some people be thinking, Doc, you be over there doing the most, man. You didn't clarify if it was a male or a female teacher. So if I need to clarify it, I will gladly do so. And some people do be going over there to the Philippines to sneak off into doing some extracurricular shit that they don't need to be involved in because they got wives and kids at home. But yeah, still they want to go over there and deal with their lady boy. That's cool. Nothing doing me. He says it doesn't matter after you die, you'll be a fucking legend. That's true. I'm telling you. But this is the type of shit you wanna, you want people to give you your flowers while you're alive, right? Like, come on, man. I said, dude, I'm gonna grow like my YouTube channel is gonna grow in my death. Like, come on, man, really? So who the fuck gonna benefit from this, right? I mean, because the way that it's set up, it goes directly to a bank account that I have. But in my death, who gets access to my accounts? Who gets access to all my shit? I gotta set all that stuff up. It's too much, man. It's too much. And the fact that the way Google AdSense is set up, that AdSense goes directly to an account that is set up in my name. So, in light of, let's say, hypothetically, my passing, that money still goes to an account that's going to end up being phantom, or the money is going to be void and nobody going to be able to benefit from it. I don't know. I love the legend part though, man. I'll gladly go down, dick swinging and everything, bro. Just having the time of my life, bro. I always told you if I was gonna pass away, I wanted to be peacefully, bro. I just wanted to be peaceful. That's it. I don't ask for much. He said, serious proposition, Dr. Mike. Since you are in education space, let us start an online teaching business. I love the idea, but that type of market is just saturated. People with all this type of, you don't need FBLA or drop shipping and all that shit. I got a perfect algorithm mechanical thing that's been working for me since I was 12 years old, and it's turned $500 into $500,000 in less than 24 hours. I don't want to be that guy, man. I do not want to be that guy because it sounds so fucked up, and I know that's not what you're talking about. But every time I think about starting up an online business, I could open up a Shopify store and shit. I know, but or online businesses take on different roles for sure. But the way I think about it is, every time I think about it, there's always them dudes with them corny ass introductions. Stop what you're doing. If you want to make $100,000, listen to this video. Hi, my name is Dr. Mike TV, and I'm going to show you how I turn $1,000 into $100,000 in less than 24 hours by following these three key techniques. Now, I've been invested in the cryptocurrency since day one, and all of a sudden I got my Sheba up and popping. I got, Dogelon or Dogelon Mars or some shit, the new shit that's coming out. I've already invested in that, and I've already seen $1 million profits in 24 hours. I don't want to be that dude because they be talking about some fucking phantom shit. But then again, I'm gonna have my phone with it though. I'm gonna have my phone with it though. And I can show you how to make 24 million in 24 hours. All you gotta do is buy my course right now, and I'm gonna show you how to make $1 million in 2 minutes. He said, nigga, won't you just over here talking about your life in He said, yo, what you just over here talking about your life in the Philippines? Yes, I was. Man. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to have some fun with y'all, but that's kind of what I think about when I think about marketing and shit. Like, online teaching businesses and shit. Everybody always got a foolproof plan that's gonna make somebody rich in 24 hours and shit, which is cool. But try my best. Excuse me. Not to get up in that stuff. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. If you did, please feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Chat box. I appreciate y'all locking in. Appreciate y'all showing love. Appreciate you guys wherever you guys are in the world today. You guys have made my day. All right. So unless you guys have anything else to add, I will gladly let you go on about your business. It's a little after 10 o'clock this evening, and I appreciate all the love, the effort, the energy that you guys have poured into the channel today. I see the likes, 24 likes. Appreciate that. If you guys got anything you want to say before I lock out, man, or clock out, please feel free to let me know. Damn, son. Nah, that's not what it is. Don't worry about me, man. I'm just looking at crypto shit. My mind says I can make great money as a Chippendale dancer. I thought about that as a second career, right? And you know what's funny though? What I really realized recently about Chippendale dancers, hey man, them girls like fat boys. Your boy on the chunky end, man. I got a little swollenness, but I'm really plushy. That's what I like to call myself, no homo. But yeah, man, I realized that girls really do like these very full-figured men. I know that sounds gay as hell. They like their men full figure. Some of these girls enjoy men that are plushy, like huggable, bear types, and I'm teddy bear all damn day. I can make a bang. I'm thinking about it, man. Don't get it twisted, man. Vegas is like a second home to me, anyways. Look, don't think for 1 second I wouldn't put on a G string pause and just go ham. Shit, man. I don't mind being a stripper. That was my past life, anyways, man. Male stripper. But then again, I didn't like how girls be smacking on my ass and shit. I felt abused. The last time I tried that, it did not feel comfortable. So yeah, I decided that's probably not the career choice for me. I really did feel objectified. You know what I'm saying? At least at the club. See, here's the weird part. Like when you go to a real strip club, the gentleman's club and stuff like that, there's a rule that you can't touch the dancers, right? No hands on the dancers, even if you're in the VIP, baby girl giving you a lap dance and shit, you can't touch it. That's the rule. But it'd be so different when you be stripping in front of females, right? Because there's really no rules at all. They be smacking you, trying to grab your junk and shit. But then again, in fairness, you just throwing your junk in this bitch's face anyways and smacking her in the face with your dick in a G string. Anyways, wow, this conversation went left real quick. But anyways, I'm just telling you the truth, man. My bad. I did not mean for this conversation to go to go left. But I digress, man. This is life. This is what I think about. I would be a great male stripper. I would. I'm handsome as hell to somebody. I think my girl thinks I'm handsome, so that's good to know. At least I got one customer. Fucked up thing is, she gonna pay me with my own money. Great. I just having fun, ladies and gentlemen. He says all you have to do is shake your hips and swing that thing. Hey, I think I can make great money, man. But I'm sorry, man. I don't. I think my audience would lose great respect for me if I became a Chippendale dancer, bro. I mean, they'd be like, Doc, you sold out, bro. Good times. Then again, I am a teacher. I would have to leave that career behind because there is nothing worse than when your kid's mama come up to the school talking about, yo, nigga, I knew that was you. Nigga, I see you dancing butt ass naked there over the weekend. Shut up. Like, just fuck your whole career up. Some of the females could get, bro, don't ever get it twisted. I've been to parties. It's the weirdest shit, bro. And don't ask me how I ended up here. Just don't. Okay. But the things these hoes be doing at parties, like it'll be a bachelorette party and they'll like, you know, hire strippers and stuff like that. Strippers be over there just fucking in the background and shit. Strippers be in there banging out the people at the party and shit. I'm like, this is crazy. Blow jobbing the dude that's dancing. I'm like, this is bugging. What in the hell? They be doing the most, man. Please, yes, I cannot forget my grandmama and my mama. You know what I'm saying? That's embarrassing. I don't think they would care as much, but my whole career is done. My whole career is done. You know what I'm saying? As a teacher, the minute I commit myself to that energy and commit myself to that cause, my career as a teacher is over. My career as an educator in the United States is officially over. Prayerfully, if I choose to go overseas, which is my next destination, you guys should already know that. I've never hid that. There wouldn't be any report or any findings on me on the internet or YouTube with me shaking my ass in the G-string if I choose a Chippendale dancing career. But I digress, man. I think my mom would be able to accept it. I'll tell her straight up, like, yo, mom, I'm gonna be a stripper. She wouldn't give a shit. She wouldn't care. But she knows for a fact, yo, just tell me, she's like, just do what you gotta do, baby, if that's what you want to do. My grandma, she's lovable, man. She's to the point in her life where she don't find herself in any of those places at all. So, I ain't gotta worry about any of that stuff. Shit. So yeah, man. Conversation went left real quick. Just wear a full face mask and, and dance as Dr. X. That is true. No face, no case, right? No face, no case. You gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. He said your grandma and mom will always think you're cute. Hey, they truly will. My young lady will probably be the only one that would throw money on stage for me, but because you'll never want your mama and your grandma to be your supporters while you out there trying to get it in. But yes, mama and grandma will always think that I am a cute. My mom says that to me all day long. She be like, "Baby, you know you cute to me." Gotta love it, boy. Mom, keep that same energy though. I ain't gonna cap though, man. You kind of need that type of cheerleading in your corner, especially when you down and shit. Maybe you get rejected. Some girl won't fuck with you. And mom in the corner talking about, baby, you gonna always be cute to me. You gonna always be my baby and shit like that. I'm like, you know what, mom, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you need that shit. So you gotta be able to love the ones who love you. That's why I keep my circle very, very tight, very, very close. I don't really fuck with a lot of people outside of certain people for that reason alone. Because when you down and them chips are down, these are the people you need around you. Big facts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, love y'all. Has been fun. It has been real. Shout out to everybody who came through and showed Doc some love tonight. I appreciate you, man. I know we should have clocked out a long time ago, but I thank you for continuing to listen into this nonsense. But you guys have been awesome. You guys have been great. I may come in tomorrow just for about 15 minutes, not 15 minutes, I'm sorry. Probably give you guys about an hour or so, depending on what's going on. And we're gonna have some fun, man. If I come up with a topic, we might just do a Q&A. Sometimes the Q&As are the best. So you let me know what you guys are interested in. We'll figure out how it plays out, man. I appreciate you guys locking in. You know how it is. Love you from the bottom of my heart. Even those that listen in the background, appreciate you just listening. You help the algorithm in ways that nobody will ever know. Just having you guys listen in and actually lock in with me for as long as you do, whether you're listening to me while you're working. Shout out to my boy Robert. Whether you're listening to me while you're trying to get it in, I sincerely hope that you don't, because the minute I say something fucked up, it's gonna mess up your stroke. I know this, so please don't listen to me while you're trying to get it in the background. Whether you're watching me on your television, whether you're watching me on your laptop, your mobile device, whether you're watching me while you're traveling, whether you're watching me while you're taking a shit on the toilet, I don't care where you're watching me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for giving me just a little bit of your time, effort, and energy, man. You guys are great. I wouldn't exist without you. You know how it is. So when I become super famous, just believe, just know, because the super famous is gonna happen. When I become YouTube famous, it's gonna happen eventually. But when I become YouTube famous, I'm never gonna forget the ones that have been rocking with me since day one. All right. And even if you just found me today, you are a day one. All right. Because this is day one for you. So with that being said, man, he says I'd rather throw you a peso or two. Hey man, look, Doc don't discriminate. Peso, centavo. Let me flick a fucking centavo at this dude. You know how disrespectful that is, flicking coins at me, man. I think I fell away. Bitches gonna be putting 20 pesos in my G string and shit. Yo, maybe I could come a stripper in the Philippines, bro. What you think? Princess ain't having that, man. The mean one will never agree to that. I wouldn't make no money anyways. Actually, I could, man. Private parties for the upper echelon. We got a black stripper. Oh shit! New calling already in the. Oh, I'm in. Cause I promise you, man, I know some girls who would love to have a bachelorette party with a black stripper. There ain't too many options in the Philippines, and since I'll already be there, you ain't gotta fly me in or nothing, love. I'm already in the country. Now, I come to your party, just put on a G string and a bear hat, dance around a little bit, smack you in the face with my dick if that make you feel better. Sorry. Oh man. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud. DT, what's up with you, bro? But yeah, man, I might become the stripper to the upper echelon, man. There are all these older ladies who have always once desired to be with a black man. Hey, guess who is bound to give up? Why? No, I'm dead ass. I think I would. I think I would. All right. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Yo, let's hire Dr. X. Ooh, it sounds like Malcolm X, but but he's a doctor. Yo, I'm gonna make a killing dancer for the rich crowd, the richy rich girls. It's easy to find them. I told you, man. All they do is Zumba classes. Just find out where the Zumba class is at. You'll find. He said, "Can I get a what?" I did not catch the conversation, bro. Missed out. He said, "Does PH require the vaccine?" I can't find any info on the topic. Yes, you have to be vaccinated. They require vaccination, and you're probably going to end up doing a quarantine. So far, I think they decreased it to 7 days, but anybody in the U.S. can't travel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and clock out. I think my man Tim said this starting to get uncomfortable. I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, it has been fun. It has been real, but it's time for me to go and get to getting, man. So with that being said, man, good doc is officially out. At least knuckle alone, which means I am going. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita. Bye bye. Peace.